It sounds cheesy as hell, but like I do have like an emotional connection with photography. I really love photography and filmmaking. Sort of like been an outlet to like express emotion and like whatever it is. Just like when I'm taking photos, I'm like, that's the best version of me, you know. I'm Arjun. I will be going to Chapman University next year, which is a 4-year college, and they span different areas. But I'll be doing film production, and that means I get to like really spend 4 years practicing and learning how to make a movie, or what it takes from start to finish to make a feature film, and like the different areas I can discover. And I'll be emphasizing in cinematography, which means like study of imagery and study of how the motion picture evolved and what it means in today's like industry. I really got serious about it. I was like, I really have a connection with this. Nice. And I was like, why would I spend 4 years doing like business or something when I know that I'm going to come back to this some way, you know, in like later in my life. So that was a conversation that started with my parents, and they were like, you're not doing film production. Like,
seriously, they said, don't do it.
They were pretty against it at first, and then I kind of explained that like this is something that means a lot to me, and they were like, all right, we believe you.
So it all started from photography.
Yeah.
Your passion towards photography.
Definitely.
That leads you to pursue your education in
film production.
Film production. So have you ever produced a video, a movie, a short film, for example?
Yeah. So I kind of got together with a group of like friends, as I was saying, who are like all have different skills. Like one's really good at directing and like screenwriting. From like that started in like sophomore year, so like 2 or 3 years ago. And since then we've made like 10 to 15 movies, short films, usually around 4 to 8 minutes long. It's all like learning, you know, like half of them were shit. Half of them were like, we didn't even finish them. But it's like how we learn from those, that's what I really like. Because like I know certain people who have also done like the film production and college path, and they just spent like high school doing like 2 or 3 really good short films. And I don't think that's the best way to approach it. I think just like going out and like doing as many as you can, and like even if they're bad, like if you learn from it and you make the next one better because of what you learned, I think that's a better.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do, but I don't really post that many videos on it. I have a website though that has kind of all my work put together.
Like photography as well as the videos?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll put the link below. Wow, sounds... Check the link below, guys. What is the difference between photography and video making?
I think for me, again, as I have like a connection with cinematography specifically, I think photography and film are extremely like related. They go hand in hand so well, because I think that film gives you the power to tell a story with motion picture, but then photography gives you the power to tell a story with a still image. And that's why I have a connection with both of them so deeply.
Really nicely said. Seriously, that's really cool. I saw you just bought a new camera.
Yes. So I have the Leica M6 black and the Summicron 35 f2 version 4 down. I got into film like 2 years ago, and I just love film. I can't tell you why Leica, but I can tell you that I love Leica, and just like the quality and like the history behind Leica itself. It's something that I just wanted to be a part of, you know.
Yeah. Is there like a particular film that you like to use? Well, don't tell me it's Sinister 800.
I was just about to say. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with that film, because I hate it because it's unpredictable, because of like, it is a little bit like with the flares and like, you know how like you get those red streaks sometimes. I feel like if you expose it at what the actual film stock is, like let's be honest, it's Kodak Vision 3 500.
Exactly.
If you expose it at 500 and you shoot it like a motion picture film, which it is, it can be really nice. And that's what I've been doing recently. Like earlier I'd just be like, oh, it's an 800 film, I'm just gonna shoot it like an 800 film.
But no,
it's not an 800 film. It's just, it changes the whole character of the film, you know? When you shoot it at 500 versus 800.
These guys living in overseas, they still think like Hong Kong is flooded with neon lights, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, it's actually sadly not the case at all.
Okay, it's a lot cheaper to have an LED light instead of
that is, I mean, I do shoot more color. I love black and white, but I don't shoot it as much. But yeah, I mean, like historically, all the great photographers used, like Henry Carver, I saw he used a Leica, right? Right?
right.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that, but I was pretty sure.
And
Yeah.
it's a known fact that cut
Yeah.
in. Okay, like that.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't checked this one, but I'm pretty sure. But anyways, yeah, like all those great photographers, black and white photographers, use these cameras, and I think it's just, even though I don't shoot black and white as much, I think it's like important for the historical aspect of it.
A couple of years ago, you were into instant film.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
How's that doing?
I'm still quite into it. I've kind of like lost faith a little bit in Polaroid because.
You mean Polaroid or Impossible Project?
Well, now Polaroid Originals, which I think
They
is
bought the.
exactly, they just bought Impossible.
Yeah.
So I guess like interchangeably, but I really really don't like their formulas. Like their chemical formulas are just kind of awful. Like it's so unreliable. You just don't know what's gonna happen, which I guess is like another beauty of film or whatever. But like, I want to know what I'm gonna get. You know.
When are you taking off to the States?
I graduate in May, and then I leave around June, July semester. Of course, I'm gonna focus on school, but like, I'm also doing like a few projects. Like I'm doing a couple of short films with my friends. Okay, again, this sounds very like cliche, but like I don't feel like I'm ever gonna have a time in my life where I'm gonna be like completely like free.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm in between phases right now. Like I'm finishing high school, and I'm gonna be going to college. I don't really have much else to do. So I'm just doing what I really want to do, you know? Like I had this conversation with a friend earlier this week, and I was saying that like I feel like a lot of modern cinema or modern video art forms have become too like explicit, not like in the sense of like meaning. Like instead of being implicit and being like the viewer figures out what is going on or figures out their own version of the story, which is really easy with like photography or painting or whatever other art forms that are like two-dimensional. When you have this aspect of time, it makes it easier for the director to be like, this is what you're gonna get from it, instead of the viewer being like, this is what I get from it. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Like I was having this conversation with my econ teacher the other day, but like, is it still economically like favorable for companies or like studios to make like actually good content, not like superhero movies? I'm not saying that superheroes are bad. Like, I love the new Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah, I do too.
But
yeah,
like there's certain films that are historic because of their meaning, you know? Like it's kind of sad that in a lot of ways that's just dying out in modern cinema.
Would you want to make a commercial film, or you want to pursue in the direction of art?
I think that's a tough question. Most of what I've done up till now has been, like, to be honest, it's been a mix. Like I haven't narrowed myself down to one genre because I've been just kind of trying to explore different areas of filmmaking. Like for my college application, you had to make a film.
Oh,
and
you do?
Yeah, you have to make like a 2-minute to 4-minute film. Either like on a specific prompt. Some colleges have a specific prompt, and some colleges just like do whatever you want. And I did it more of the direction of like a like an art piece rather than it being more like explicit, as we were talking about in meaning, of like a normal like romance story or whatever. I made it a little bit more like the viewer figures it out and is in the place of the character. And I think that was like meaningful to me because of like, first of all, the topic was meaningful to me because it was like talking about death and talking about like these kind of like heavy concepts. But it was also meaningful that I wanted to head in this direction of like not explicitly pushing an agenda with my films, or not explicitly like pushing a meaning or like a interpretation. So yeah.
Damn, you're pretty deep. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Let's get back to the color versus black and white. You prefer to shoot in color more so than black and white?
Yeah.
That's an
I mean,
interesting thing.
I don't know if I prefer it. I just do it more. I don't really like have a preference. I think I just like, I'm used to shooting color. Like whenever I did digital, before I did film, I did digital, and I never really like converted things to black and white. I don't know why.
Fair enough. But that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
maybe that's just because how it was, you know, like you don't get the picture out of the camera black and white.
You made a short video. Were you using that 8mm?
Oh yeah, I did Super 8.
Yeah, the Super 8, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Like basically what I did, I was traveling over different places over the summer, and I just brought along my Super 8 and like just shot, you know, because I don't have like a dedicated like film camera, like motion picture film camera. I usually use my school's Red, but I won't just do that.
You use the school's Red too? What?
It was just me messing around with.
No, that was really good. I think it's. Wait, camera did you use?
So I used the Braun Nizo 3056.
Okay, I
It's
don't-
like
okay.
it's not one of like the mainstream Super 8
Uh-huh.
cameras. It's a little bit more professional because you
Okay.
have like different frame rate options, and um, yeah, it's just like a better build quality. But like I really wanted to go to like film like motion picture
Okay.
because I have this connection with film still photography.
Okay.
And I think that translating all those aspects of like the grittiness or like the character that you get from a film image
Right,
to
right.
motion picture, I think
Yeah.
that was very important for me because of the types of stories I like to tell, you know?
Yeah.
Like nothing, a lot of my stories aren't like pristine and like kind of like glorified, which you get a lot of times through digital filmmaking, or you can get pretty easily
Yeah, yeah.
through digital. And I don't know, just like that process translating over it was something I really wanted to explore, and I did that a lot over the summer. It's like
Really?
first with like Super 8, but then also I was in New York for the summer for like
Mhm.
a 1 month filmmaking course. So that was really exciting. I was at Parsons. I don't know if you've heard of
Awesome,
design
yeah,
school.
Yeah, yeah.
So we did 16 millimeter there, which was
Really?
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I'm curious, okay, you developed the film?
We developed 1 or 2 rolls, but then everything else was by a lab.
Okay, that's fine. But
Yeah.
how do you scan them?
So it's like this process called telecine, where
Okay.
it's like this. Okay, so there's a different. I'm not very like well versed in the telecine
Fair enough.
understanding, but I think there's 2 different types. There's one which is a cheaper kind, where it's
Uh-huh.
kind of just a projector, and they record what's
And the-
being projected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then there's another kind which is like frame by frame scanning of the image, and then they
Would
translate that.
Take like ages.
Yeah,
to-
apparently it does. I mean, I don't. I think it's still pretty fast because it's not like high res scanning of each
Oh,
frame.
okay.
It's like at best 4,000 pixels.
That's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's really not. You can get easily 4K resolution out of
Right.
like 16 millimeter
Actually,
camera.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that kind of scanning we didn't do at Parsons, but
Okay.
one of the projects I have lined up for later this year, which I'm
Mhm.
not sure is going to be produced or not, just
Okay.
because of like budgeting concerns. But we're going to be doing 16 millimeter color, and for
Oh.
that we're going to send off all our film to a new lab in India, where they just opened up part of Kodak's initiative to like bring back the motion picture availability.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah, which is like so surprising. I was like, why not in Hong Kong, where like film is so much like more prominent, in like some random place in India.
Dude, nobody can afford to
Okay.
rent a shop
true.
or space here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right?
They're gonna use well, we haven't narrowed down the scanner yet, but probably a Blackmagic scanner.
Damn, that thing costs like
Yeah.
shitload.
It's a lot of
God,
money.
It's a lot of money to get that.
But the crazy thing is, that's not even like, that's like mid-tier in the industry, because that just does 4K. Like mostly, if you do like just 4K,
Just for okay, alright.
because if you go to like any motion picture that is shooting 16 millimeter 35,
Uh-huh.
they get a scan of like 8K or like even 10K, because that's possible with the negative.
They have enough resolution to be able to record in 8K?
Yep, 35 millimeter film can be telecine to 8K, but
Uh-huh.
it's mostly like the quality is mostly there if you're shooting IMAX. So that's 65 millimeter.
Dude, those are, you're talking about like actual
Yeah.
major motion picture.
Yeah, like
level.
Dunkirk. Dunkirk was the first one to like bring back.
Especially the making of Dunkirk.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Like where
like,
they mounted
whoa.
the camera on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It
talking
was
about these
pretty
heavy
dope.
duty,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
rows and rows of these films. Right now, I've ordered a Blackmagic,
Oh, really?
but
Which one?
The Pocket Cinema.
Oh, the 4K one?
4K
Yeah,
one. It's
that's a
tiny
nice
little
one.
thing. Dude, you should get one.
I know.
It's
I've been
nice and
thinking
cheap.
about it. Because even red cameras, like red cinema cameras,
Yeah.
like we have a red Raven at school.
Really? Dude, wait, alright. For the record, which school?
I go to Hong Kong International School. So yeah, we were lucky enough to get funding for a red 2 years ago. I mean, it's not like the high-end reds, it's like their baseline red, but it's still a red.
It's still red.
So this year I'm doing AP Art. AP is like part of the American system, and it's called advanced placement, which means like you can get college credit for those courses.
Really?
Yeah. So then for art, you basically choose any medium you want. I mean, okay, it has to be 2D or 3D medium,
Okay.
and you do 12 concentration pieces,
Mhm.
which basically means like you choose one project, one topic, and you do 12 pieces on it.
Mhm.
So for me, it'd be 12 images, and then there's the breath portion of it, which means just like the different, like you kind of exploring that medium. So whatever it is, like landscape, portrait. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty invested into photo and film.
No. You have a really clear mind, and you know exactly what you like and what what you want to try.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that's about it.
We kind of me just rambling about different stuff. Yeah, it sounds like it sounds pretty bad for me right now.
You don't act like a doggy guy.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
No, I know doggy guy when I see one.